Tip of the tongue, the lips, the teeth. Tip of the tongue, the lips, the teeth.
That's right. That's right, Governor.
So, welcome to episode number 1 of Children of the Beast podcast. I'm here. How are we introducing ourselves?
Well, part of me pondered upon the anonymity, the pseudonym.
It's too late. We're doing video.
It is.
We're doing video.
And I gather that young people don't have a hard time finding anybody that's ever posted anything
Correct.
on social media.
Correct.
So I'm Carlos.
Hello, Carlos. I'm Andrew.
Not to confuse anybody that may see this, I have met him before.
Okay.
We're not meeting. I'm introducing myself to the public, not to this gentleman right here. We know each other previously. We've been introduced.
Please explain how we've been introduced. Please.
So the boy right here to my left is my brother, my youngest brother. And we have been bouncing around the idea of doing something in the sphere of podcast. We're always trying to be silly and trying to find the good time in anything. But we also like to get into spirited conversations regarding various topics, some of which we agree on and some of which we don't.
Majority of them pretty dumb.
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, yes, if we're talking reality television, if I'm talking reality television,
you're talking reality
it's
television.
going to be stupid because I only watch stupid reality television. Reality television shuts off my brain from thinking. And the only part that sometimes, and it did happen recently, it started up my feelings, man. I felt bad for somebody for the first time ever in reality TV. I was no longer trading my pleasure for their dignity, and I became
invested,
empathetic.
Oh,
it was bad. I was just.
Do you think this is just you getting older and more mature?
No. This was no. Believe me, you show me a girl coming out of the club at 3 a.m. in high heels, tripping. I'm laughing. If she broke a tooth, that's a secondary conversation. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as I see the hair flip, I'm in, dude. I like play it again. Rewind. But, we like talking a lot about MMA, which we'll be doing here in a second, because I am hyped about this card. For those of us who are listening today, which... who knows who that'll be? Today is July the 7th, 2020.
Hopefully there is a tomorrow.
Well, the Rona's not moving slow, but it's not moving fast. And it's definitely not very deadly. I'm just speaking facts. So...
the Rona's going to come get you. I mean, it's going to hear you talking shit.
We could, Yellowstone could blow up right now and we may not be here. A fucking asteroid could... But for now, today's July 7th. And in the current state of affairs in MMA, we're looking forward to what's normally and typically the biggest card of the year.
International Fight Week would be typically this week.
That's what would be.
And for the first time, it's actually international because it's going to be in
Are they doing Fight Week celebrations over there? I haven't heard anything about Fight Week.
I would have to assume not, right? Just because of how strict they have to be with social guidelines and...
who the hell's going to attend anything? That's right.
That's journalists who are already there.
Yeah.
Who's
but I mean, usually Fight Week is fan driven.
Yeah.
And that's a good point.
We would have a big press conference where we'd bring everybody to talk shit to each other.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about the UFC.
Yeah. And there's some good shit talking in this one too. I mean, we got to talk about, we got to start at the top.
The main event.
Gilbert Burns, who was going to challenge Kamaru Usman.
He is now 3-1 this year, 2-1 this year.
Yes, and not only that, but
because he lost one fight, but to the Corona.
But
that's what happened.
He lost to Corona.
So I think he's 2-1 for the year.
Yes,
unfortunately.
But what's been crazy with Gilbert Burns leading up to this letdown for his this setback for his career is he has been getting incrementally better.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
From fight to fight, this guy is getting more gamemanship and more experience and more patience at the right times. And I think it's a real fucking shame, man. I mean, it's bad luck. It's Florida being Florida.
Well, and the question is, do you think he's ever going to get his opportunity? Because Dan Henderson, John Jones dropped out. Chael Sonnen was going to fill in. John Jones didn't want to fight him. Chael Sonnen's a gangster. Of course, he didn't want to fight him, the baddest man in West Lynn, Oregon.
I mean, obviously, I don't have the hard stats on it, but I think that there's a little bit of like a 50-50 record of this situation's working out in favor of the fighter that loses the shot for A or B reason. You know,
I mean, completely not in his control, right?
no, I mean, not from the standpoint of view, not for any standpoint of view, because we're dealing with a thing that's never happened in our generational lifestyle.
That's so hard to try to get a grasp of accurate information.
Yeah, you know, so I don't know. At this point, with something like this, you just want him to do better. I mean, there's other people in podcast sphere that played it fast and loose and got sick. I don't know if you heard about Brendan Shaw and fucking Brian Callen.
Brendan, coronavirus is killed by the sun.
Fucking. The funny thing is that the podcast this week, Brian was like, well, I just got to say that I'm here to eat crow. I fucked up. I played it to lose. I went and had
high-fiving all the people after their shows in Arizona. Oh, they were in Texas?
In Texas, bro. Like San Antonio or some shit. Yeah. So, you know, inhaling the breath of 300 people.
Probably not the best idea.
Not the best idea. In San Antonio, in Texas.
There's a lot of just gunpowder and America, red, white, and blue floating around. You'll never know what you'll catch.
They got roasted real good on social media, which is kind of good for them because it took away attention from the whole Chris D'Elia thing, which started to leak into their own personal lives. And I'm sure that no one need that. Plus, right now, you're stuck at home with a wife and the Rona. Oh, shit, you're going to be talking about that non-stop. And so is that a real account that's texting you or is that a fake account, Brendan? I can only imagine. You know, I mean, Callen already fucked up. I mean, he's fucking divorced. But with Brandon, he got the new baby and everything. I don't think that's something. But
what animal do you think he's going to name the new baby after? Shark?
No, his name's Boston.
The first one's named Tiger, though, right?
It is.
So then it should be named like Shark or like Tortoise.
Well, I don't know. I don't think they went animal style on him.
What do you mean, Tiger?
No, Boston.
Oh,
Boston is the baby.
Well, Boston name. Terrier, like the dog.
No, man. I mean, you could say like Boston Celtics. You could say Boston.
But we're talking about animals, right? The naming convention is animals. Tiger, Boston Terrier, Shop.
Yeah, but I don't think Shop would like. I don't think he's astute enough to like follow a theme. I think everything's a spur of the moment great idea. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just saying it doesn't seem like he was following.
Let's go back talking about MMA.
But yeah,
let's go back talking. We got a real tangent there.
Burns gets a Rona, right? And now we have Street Jesus. Street Jesus steps in. Oh, and he saves the day. He saves the day. Street Jesus steps in and says, "You know what? Hold the lice from my beard. We're doing this shit."
Lice from my beard.
And it's tremendous. And I like it even more, man, because you got to root for the little guy and the underdog.
6 days notice.
And in this situation, this is one time where the fighter gets to bend the company over.
Yeah.
And guess what? Remember the conversations we were having 3 months ago that you was not liking and fuck me and all that?
Well, put your phone on silent, motherfucker.
It turns
trying to do a professional thing here. Come on, sir.
So it turns out it's not so much fuck a me, it's fuck a you.
Yeah.
Pay me.
Yeah, definitely.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, pay me.
Oh, so it turns out there is renegotiating. And you know what I would only love? I would pay a pay-per-view for them to shoot a goddamn embedded on the negotiations.
Well,
right?
Hold on, I have a little bit of insight on this.
They break down, and then now the fighter falls out, and you're like, oh, yeah. Can we speak to Mr. Masvidal?
I have some insight on this.
He's not here. This is the guy you said didn't matter.
So hold on, I have some insight on this. Let's stop pretending. Let me give you what kind of a taste of what actually happened. Sorry, Ariel Helwani was interviewing his manager, one of the Kawa brothers. I think it's not Abraham.
Little Kawi.
Yeah, not Abraham.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
Malky is the main guy.
Yeah, I think it's Malky.
Oh, he's the main guy.
Oh, whatever.
And he got his little brother.
Whatever. I know it's not Abraham. I know it's not.
Okay, so Malky's the man. Okay. He the man.
So he's talking Malky, and basically what happened was he was having people over for 4th of July. Jorge came over kind of early, and he was like, fuck it, I'm going to call UFC right now. You're here. Let's figure this out right now. Spent like 4 hours over the course of 4th of July trying to figure this thing out. And part of it was the UFC execs kind of talking about how, like, right, with their Ivy League education and the forecasting with how random and wild the situation is going to be. And Jorge said something to the effect of, well, I have an Ivy League in street assassinations, so pay me. And that's an incredible line. It's such a good line.
And the man is right. I mean, his record's only impressive like Cowboy. How many? I think it's like 48
if he wins, it's going to be winning on his 49th fight in the UFC.
Plus his amateur kickboxing shit.
plus the
his
backyard,
street fight,
the backyard
shit.
fighting.
No, I love it, man. I think this is a great
Well,
moment. I'll go as far as to say this. I think Jorge could get a Conor McGregor-esque result.
Sure.
Conor, no one's going to be as big as Conor. Conor it's lightning in a bottle. Yeah. But with the mezcal, right? With a BMF title, the fact that he's an American, he appeals to the Latino community, to the Florida,
and he's a Trump supporter.
That's what I'm saying. He's a wild card in his own way.
Anybody know.
In his own way, he's a fucking wild card.
Right.
You give a guy like that this kind of notoriety. Now he's the BMF and the fucking world champ. Holy shit! Bisping did it. Right. And then GSP did it to Bisping. It's like we've had some unlikely people that were not supposed to win. Plus, by the way, for betting, there's some underdogs.
Everyone should go bet on Jorge. Everyone should go bet on Jorge.
Underdog too. Listen.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I already know what you're gonna say. He's never an underdog. Agreed. Agreed.
He's the champion. He was undefeated we all know.
That really feels like a battle of does the youth and the new hotness able to overcome this old lion.
And imagine if you're Aldo and you didn't lose I think it's like 10 years, right?
Right.
So
no, I think longer.
Maybe longer.
14?
Imagine the wear and tear you had. Maybe he had a little bit of time now with the pressure off to like recover.
And he was basically gifted this.
Well, I mean, again, I think
gifted,
he earned every part of it.
Sure. But right, you could argue.
You call Ian McCall and tell him he's getting a title fight. That's a gift. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is, no offense to Ian, man. But I don't want that guy to fight.
Because we know you're listening, Ian McCall. Totally.
I don't know if he is or he isn't, dude. I don't know how the algorithm works. Like,
let me tell you, not that way.
I don't know how it works, man. Their voice recognition. No, I don't know. He seems like a techie type of dude. If you can find me, I'm sure you want to. And then I don't need none of that thunder. That dude's always been pissed and everything. So, like I said, no disrespect. But yeah, so that card is tremendous. And we have who else? We have Rose and Jessica, right?
So in the co-main event, sorry, we have to go down the line, right?
Yeah.
Alex Volkanovski, the featherweight champion, versus Max Holloway.
And I'm guessing Max is an underdog.
Just kidding. Volkanovski is the favorite. Don't take your betting advice from me.
I might take $50, and I'm not a betting man, ladies and gentlemen. Doubt any ladies are listening to this or will. But
your wife?
I am not. Oh, my wife for sure.
Shout out to you. We love you.
You are one lucky bitch.
You're so dumb. You're so dumb.
But I digress again. This is a $50 bet. I'm gonna go underdogs because Jorge, I like that too.
Max.
Listen, Volkanovski didn't fucking knock out Max. And Max was carrying a lot of fucking wear and tear. He hadn't been doing... See, I think some of these guys that are young, I think they're worn out a little bit. I think you would let them rest a little bit. Look how Dustin Poirier came back, bro.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
And a lot of people were kind of leaning towards Dustin maybe. Man, Dustin maybe will come back out of fucking the grave when he's dead and kick your ass there. You know what I mean? That son of a bitch. Where did he get it from? Dude, Dan Hooker, during that third round, transitioned from a non-believer to a believer. It's like he saw Jesus come out and walk on the goddamn water.
And realized he couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, bro.
He was a Pharisee scribe, angry, upset, and just couldn't do anything about Jesus.
No, it was a beautiful
I got real
thing.
Historical, biblical with you on that one.
Yeah. Well, you must. You must.
So then you have the Peter Yan fight and the Jose Aldo fight, and then finally, or well, not finally, but the next fight on the card will be the Rose Namajunas versus Jessica Andrade. It's interesting. It's an interesting bounce back fight for Rose.
I have the same thing with Rose. Young, super talented, has already been the world champ, which means she's handled the pressures of the sport.
This is definitely not going to be one of those where she's not even on the top.
Right.
I mean, not even the feature bout.
Exactly. So I don't know. That's why I like the underdogs. Also, the card is so fucking stacked and so well matched up that it's like, I mean, same with Paige.
Yeah, because the following fight, Paige Van Zandt versus Amanda Ribas, I think I got Ribas. But it's Paige's last fight on her contract, and she needs to do something here.
Exactly.
She needs to do something here.
And as somebody that has shared the ring on the same fight night with Paige Van Zandt, I must stick with Paige. She kickboxed on the same night I kickboxed one time. A long time ago. Many moons ago.
Back when you were young and not so old.
Back when I was young. Now, I did not stay for her fight because obviously I was less important and I'm not good looking. And so I fought much earlier and left. But she fought that night on the same ring. where I liver kicked the manager of the gym she was fighting for. But that's besides the point. So I'm rooting for her. Plus, I like her angle. You know, what she said about the UFC and the payment situation. She said, I don't know if you read it.
No.
Okay, so she should. They've been asking her a lot because it's her last fight, right?
Yeah.
And she's going to fight out her contract, which I like. That's a confident thing. This chick, she could have
It's easy when you haven't renegotiated your contract many times and you're not stuck into a 9-10 fight contract like Jorge Masvidal is, for example.
Well, no, but I think she's finishing up like a 6-fight contract.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's probably still her rookie contract.
It's very much possible. Yeah. But what I mean, what I like about it is that she's, in my opinion, she's being smart because she's not stifling her own opinion, which means that she's not devaluing her brand towards the UFC.
Sure.
She's not being shitty.
Yeah,
she's just being
honest about it.
Fucking honest about it, you know? And what she said was on today's thing, she's been talking about it in general. You know, leading up to this is the last fight. I want to see my market value and all that shit. She's a young woman. She could have quit many times already.
Totally.
That same fucking arm breaking on you twice and within the same 18-month period. I don't know how bad of a luck that is.
Right.
But I think that the fact that she's still at it and she is game, dude. When she fights, she doesn't go there to lay and pray and give you boring shit. She's out there fucking trading blood with these bitches. And that's awesome. So I like her attitude. And she said today, she goes, look, the reality is that if I had just worked a regular average 9-to-5 job for the last 4 or 5 years, I would have probably made the same amount of money as I made in the UFC. She's right. Now, she wouldn't have had the opportunities that she's had where she's been able to capitalize further. But I think it's really cool. I actually think her husband's a really talented guy, Austin.
Super slick on the ground.
And out of nowhere, he wasn't expected to win this jiu-jitsu matches he's been winning in the last 15 months, man. You know, like he's been stepping up to fight guys where people go, oh, look at this guy with the balls, and he wins. You know what I mean? So I like them. I think they're cool, you know, and I think I like that she's on the main card. I like that she's promoting her brand.
Well, like, right, she has to win if she has any semblance of a future with UFC, right? Because if she loses, it makes much more sense for her to go get a better deal somewhere else.
I don't know where else she can go and realistically get matched up with 3 girls. Where else is there? She fights at 115, correct?
Let me double check.
I think, which is flyweight.
Flyweight, yeah.
Right?
No, yeah. Flyweight.
So Invicta, the UFC, I'm sure the ONE FC has a couple of chicks like signed, but have you heard of any of them?
No.
Exactly. So now,
but
you can build a division around Paige.
No, and like similar to Mighty Mouse, like, right, I feel like you can go to one and not necessarily the name recognition isn't as important for Paige. Like you said, you can build a division around her.
Right. Or
maybe they go to like this Ari's fighting.
Or the same thing happens with that happened with Sage. You get murked and they love it and they forget all about you. When's the last time you saw fucking Sage Northcutt?
I think he just finally healed. I think he's still been healing all this time. And that was like a year and a half ago.
So you can't post a selfie, pretty boy?
I'm sure. Do you follow him on Instagram? So then what do you mean?
I don't even know because I haven't seen him, but I used to see him. You know what I mean?
I guess that's a good point, right? The UFC was promoting him a lot.
ONE FC also is not promoting him. I see ONE FC shit here and there. I mean, I don't know what their next card is or anything, but I know Brandon Vera lost and that was their big heavyweight, but I think he was going for a dual belt, so maybe he's still the light heavyweight or something. But
seems like a lot of hoopla to me.
It's a whole lot of hoopla. Nobody, and by the way, we don't know when anybody else is going to put on shows.
Yeah, like I feel like we hear rumblings of like different little stuff that's happening. Look, he looks fine. Sage Northcutt, oh, fucking pretty boy up.
Yeah, he looked normal. Yeah. Although that could be an old picture. What if he was all spindly now and shit and looks all rickety?
I mean, I just showed him a picture of Sage Northcutt just fucking shredded.
They just put the steroids into each ab square.
I think so. I think that's how that works.
Right?
I think that's how that works.
Like 8 meals at the same time, 1 to each ab square, and then.
Well, I mean, that's what you get when your dad's a martial arts dojo owner, right?
And his dad was also popped for steroids. In fact, he may have even done time. There's something to do. You can Google it. It's a long time. Like I said,
we'll let the what are we going to call our listeners? The fellow children?
The little beasts.
The little beasts? We'll let the little beasts. That's so silly.
Of course.
That's great. We'll let the little beasts do their research and get back to us.
Yeah, you little beasts. Get out there, please. You know?
I love that.
Get back out. Find some of this information for a motherfucker. If you will.
Here, I'll let you look down the prelims because I recognize a name on the prelims. I'm excited for the name that I recognize, Muslim Sally Cove. But other than that, there's Well, Volkan Ozdemir is going to be the main event on the prelims, so that'll be a fun fight. But I don't recognize the dude's name.
Yeah,
he's fighting.
I find Ozdemir to be a boring fighter myself as far as watching him. He's very effective.
Sure.
I'm getting fucking food during that fight.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Fair
I get a drink or something. So yeah, man. So
it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be tremendous. It's gonna be tremendous coming off of the last card,
and you're gonna be chasing the buffalo during this card, correct?
I don't know anymore because we were hoping to have people over, but we're waiting on some blood work results because last week didn't go exactly the way we wanted.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So we may just watch it here ourselves.
Gotcha. Nice.
But I did. So it was 4th of July. I haven't talked to you about it.
No. How was your 4th?
My 4th was great.
Was it? That's nice.
Yeah. Well, it was observed for business. We didn't work on Friday.
Sure.
So I went and played a little bit of golf with our other brother,
our middle
Ricky.
Brother.
Eventually, he made cameo in this motherfucker.
He wants to desperately.
I know he did.
I'm trying to parlay him because he's been obsessed with buying Jordans ever since The Last Dance. So I've been trying to get him to use that money on something useful and invest in us. And invest in our marketing scheme, baby. Now he has no idea of this plan, so he'll hear this for the first time when he listens to this.
He's good at business,
And I like what you're doing. I like what you're doing right now. The buttering up.
I'm saying, who knows? Could he be getting some Jordans for free? Maybe. I hear some people do.
Some people.
Some people.
Oh, okay.
Well, one almost got canceled, and the other guy's still around. The league
get free Jordans?
They do, of course. Why do you think they're always shouting out the name of this is by the fucking street art is the aircraft?
I just assume they make enough money to fucking spend it on
frivolous things
do. Like
they probably
custom shoes that's cost
$600. But if you have that many Instagram followers, man,
yeah, you got to
assume someone's everything in here would be free. I don't need the money. Send me the free shit all day long, baby. What?
Okay, so this is a great question, right? Who would be your ideal sponsorship for the show?
On it, for sure.
Oh my God.
You gotta take that shit every day.
No way, dude.
You said ideal.
I guess, yeah. I feel like it's not ideal.
I would say on it, maybe like Hayabusa.
Oh, Hayabusa. Cool. Oh, yeah. We're definitely in that niche.
Oh, yeah. Hayabusa. Maybe.
See, you gotta think bigger, dude. Like, I'm talking like Disney.
I was thinking like a couple of local weed dispensaries.
Nah, dude. Think big, baby. Because even if you miss, you're still gonna land amongst the stars. Well, yeah, so maybe we won't get sponsored by Disney, but Fox, CNN, what's up? I don't know why I jumped to those two organizations.
Are they gonna send me weed?
No, they'll send you money so you can buy the weed with the money.
We'll see. My boy that works at Hardin dispensaries.
Oh yeah.
I tell you what, I'm gonna start making a list though. I promise everybody I'm going to make a list of my ideal sponsors because this is a good question.
This is a great question.
And I like it. But so anyways, that's our little brother Ricky. I went golfing with him on Friday.
Yeah, 4th of July. I forgot.
On Friday. They have those golf boards that look like a snowboard and you're on the golf course doing it. So that was pretty good. Leading up to that, I went to the driving range twice to hit 250 balls each time. Shot 88.
Oh, nice. That's pretty good for not really golfing all that often.
And I putted well. Nice.
I heard our brother was hitting the ball straight.
Yes. So our brother Ricky has the most wicked slice that you could ever imagine in the game.
Let's preface this. Let's give this context. Our brother Ricky, athletic, I would say, but it's just in the goofiest way.
Yes.
Which is a weird statement, I realize.
Yeah. And also, this is okay. So this can summarize Ricky's game to you. You'll understand it. If you know golf a little bit, you'll understand this. Ricky is the only person. I'm 39 years old, started golfing when I was about 15 or 16. He's the only person in that entire amount of time that has purchased golf clubs and you can tell his game improved.
Well, to be fair, he was also golfing with like 20-year-old clubs like 15 years ago.
Yes, but every time I've ever seen anybody buy golf clubs, this fucking idiots go to the golf shop. Oh, I know what the problem is. It's this fucking clubs. No, it's not. But you swing like El Zorro, you fuck. You know what I mean? Well, this motherfucker swings like El Zorro. But yeah, man, his driver, like I never saw him drive so many balls to the fairway.
That's incredible.
No. I mean, it's still curved a little bit.
Sure.
But so his clubs have all kinds of, listen. Technology's come along.
I know
he got proper flex on his irons.
Cool.
right? He's got
Right.
some graphite in there that I know is helping him. And I know the club head of his driver has some kind of rotational deal.
Like as he swings?
No.
Oh, I thought
But
like
you
it was
can-
like.
I think you can rotate the face.
You think he's retaining the face though?
Yes.
Oh, he is. Oh,
Most certainly. Most certainly. But it costs him not to have to aim 45 degrees from his target.
Sure.
All of a sudden, in the sound,
That's
it sounds like a normal golf shot.
Wow.
Where before that, his horrible shot was accompanied by a horrible clanking
Yes,
sound.
like the sound of a tin cup being hit by a baseball.
Like you go hit a bell, but the bell was made out of tin. And he's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not beautiful.
No, it's just loud and it's like a loud
like,
clank.
Yeah. So it was cool. It was cool. And then we spent the weekend at Lake Las Vegas with my in-laws. So that was nice. I had a beer with Ricky after the round.
Oh, what beer?
I had an IPA.
What type of IPA?
It was not the Goose. It was
I
the
feel like-
green one.
Sierra Nevada.
No, it
Stone.
wasn't Sierra. It was
Stone
It
IPA?
wasn't Stone.
The green one. I feel
Fuck.
like those are the top.
Ricky will know, but it was
Sierra
good.
and Stone.
It was.
It was a Bad Beat IPA.
Yes.
Hoppy
yes,
Times.
Yes. Very good.
That's a good beer. That's a great
Very
beer.
good. Had a nice frosted mug in that.
I feel like as you start, because like right, you're not going to want to drink for the show every time, but I feel like we like at least once a month we do like a beer episode where like I bring in a beer and we share a beer.
I'm into that because I'm actually.
It doesn't have to be like we don't have to bring in twos, but like we can just bring like one and we can share it and, see, and like a little taste it.
That's a good idea because this leads into what else I did over the week.
We could also parlay this into whiskey where you bring in the whiskey for me because I don't really know whiskey.
That's a good idea.
That's
also a good idea. That idea has merit. That idea has merit.
Thank you.
So, but I did run with the Buffalo, as in Buffalo Trace, my favorite whiskey, the house's whiskey here at the Alberta estate, and yeah, it was very nice, man. It was very nice. So one thing I did do on Saturday is I went on a run. Every time my in-laws live at Lake Las Vegas, and I like going on a run there, and so I woke up early and went on a nice little run, did my 5 miles, came back, and my father-in-law asked me, they have a machine at their club that does metabolic testing.
Okay.
Which basically it measures a bunch
Like body
of shit.
fat and like
Body fat, visceral fat, how much each limb
What the
weighs.
fuck is visceral fat? Like
The
what you can
fat around
see?
your organs.
Okay. Okay.
But anyway, I don't want to make it boring. Your boy, 13% body fat, baby. I'm that close to an elite athlete.
That close to a finely tuned athletic machine.
Oh yeah. So of course I'm gonna get to that 10.
Well, if that's the case, we definitely can't do the beer and the whiskey tasting, at least until you get to it.
because I'm only drinking once a month or so.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not.
So this is perfect. Like once a month we do it, like every couple episodes. Yeah.
So it was good. It was good.
Nice.
I had my sipperoos of whiskey, made some prime rib,
Delicious.
made a little lobster tail.
Delicious.
Jamie picked up some crab from the crab corner. We had that with it.
Yum.
So yeah,
Love the
man,
crab.
it was a nice time, relaxing. You know.
My 4th of July involved sitting with my puppy and making sure she was okay because she was scared of the fireworks. She was terrified. But other than that, I just kind of hung out, played some video games.
People seem to have gone extra American with the fireworks this year.
They're
Right?
just bored. I mean, what else can you do?
Did you see that picture of the LA skyline?
Yeah. the video, it's incredible. It's
such
awesome.
a fuck you to the government, dude. I love it. Fucking
It is
Gavin
great.
Newsom.
It
I
is
would
great.
love to have seen a fucking pay-per-view of his face when that shit's going on. Like, no one respects you, sir. No one in your state that you govern respects you. And the people that have money, guess what? They can afford to leave. You're going to lose their taxes because they don't like you.
For real. You're going to move to Texas.
I have no opinion on the matter other than recognizing people don't like you.
I want to bring this up, fully aware that we may cut this out later. Okay. Just going to preface with this.
I'll be cautious.
No, you don't have to be cautious, but like, I just, depending where this conversation goes, right? Because I saw a lot of posts on social media about fuck your 4th of July. How dare you celebrate a country with systemic racism, with kids in cages, with all of this. I don't want to be.
You know, I don't want you to cut this out, but I'll say this. Fuck every one of those people. Leave, cocksuckers. And I'm going to add a caveat to that. I saw a lot of fucking people going, oh, you don't want the mistreatment of your children. How about the mistreatment of dogs today? Okay, fucko. Just because you chose not to have children and you're 52 and your emotional maturity only gave you enough to give love to a fucking dog and you think you're a hero because you adopted the fucking dog, that does not mean that you have any goddamn idea to make such a comparison. That's fucking asinine and fuck them too. You may cut. I'll stand by all this.
Fine.
I'll stand by all of this.
I just think it's interesting, right? Because like, very clear.
Just so you know, by the way, sorry, I have dogs. I love my dogs, but they're dogs.
You have a dog
they're
now.
Fucking
you
dogs.
have a dog.
I have a dog.
You have a dog.
Yeah.
R.I.P. the previous ones. Love them to death. But I'll point out, right? Like, I understand being upset with where this country is at. I understand feeling not represented. But right, Fourth of Idea is this celebration of the ideas behind America. And right, at least in my opinion, the ideas behind America, the ideas behind our foundational documents, Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, they're good ideas, right? Now, I'm not saying we accomplish them the way we should be accomplishing them, because I think it's very clear that we're not. But we should be striving for that. And I feel like it is good to celebrate that because, I don't know, I'm proud of being American. Even though it's like, right, I just clearly not happy with the way we are right now. But still, at the end of the day, I'd much rather live in America than I would a lot of other countries.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's always going to be work to be done because we're a country that is hell-bent on improvement.
Well, and like, right,
and, you know, that's one thing that whether you like the education system or not, we're taught in this country to improve.
Well, right. And like 50 years from now, 100 years from now, our grandchildren should look back at us and be like, wow, I can't believe grandpa was that racist, that he was using iPhones made by child slavery.
Exactly.
So like in theory, like we should look back at our history and be like, that's kind of ugly, but we should not. We need to, I don't know, learn from it. I don't know.
And one of those things, and I think that's something that is probably not very popular right now. And I know it's a prominent quote. I've just really bad to remember the authors of quotes, but it's certainly not mine, which is that your freedom ends as soon as it infringes upon mine, and vice versa. So when you're a truck driver and you're trying to deliver the load of whatever, and protesters.
Hold on. I need to interrupt you because, like, right, we already have examples in society where your freedoms are infringed on because you're in certain places. Like, right, as a student in a high school, you don't have necessarily the same First Amendment rights or right. This is why like lockers are able to be searched. So I already kind of fundamentally disagree with this quote. Sorry,
right. But your parents have the choice to send you there or not.
Not necessarily if it's a public school.
Oh yeah, they can homeschool you, and you're not subjected to that.
I guess
you may not like the options, but it's a choice.
Yeah, sure, I guess.
Nobody said you get to choose the choices.
Well, actually, right now in I think not New Jersey, North Carolina, the homeschooling portal to sign up kids for homeschooling has been down for like a couple days because there's such an increase in people wanting to turn to homeschooling.
I mean, North Carolina?
I believe in North Carolina, and we should talk about this, right? Because like, at least here in Nevada, this school district, what are we doing here? How are we going to reopen? And like, I'm not saying this in terms of criticism because like, it's not like I fucking know what we should be doing. Yeah. It's so damn complicated, right? Clearly we can't go completely virtual because younger children don't learn the best that way. And B, right, specifically in Clark County, the gap in terms of economic classes and with the access to technology, it's just not fair, right? You're going to be missing at least, I guess I'm pulling this number out of my butt, but I would have to assume at least 20-30% of students wouldn't have the access to the technology necessary.
Yeah.
And now what they're doing, I believe they're doing some sort of staggered learning where the students are going to be coming in on like 2 to 3 days a week, kind of varies. And like, as a parent, how are you able to figure out a work schedule? And I can understand why people are moving towards homeschooling.
It's very difficult, but at the same time, 50% of the parents we're speaking about were shitty parents before this, and now they're forced to get engaged.
Sure, totally. All the parents who
this isn't a fucking daycare; it's school.
All the parents who talk about
the government shouldn't be responsible for feeding your child. Like the fact that
I kind of disagree with this. Right?
I don't.
I disagree with this, right? Because if as a child, it is not your fault if your parent is unable to feed you. You should have the right to have access to food.
I understand that. I'm not blaming the government or the child. I'm blaming the fucking parent.
Sure, you can blame the parent, but right, it is more productive to feed that child so they can actually learn.
I'm not arguing with the practice of it.
Okay.
I am saying that there's no shame placed on those parents, and there should be. And this situation is forcing some people, not all of them.
Right.
There's some shitty ass
110%,
fucking people
some of them
that are expecting a lot of them, dude. Listen, at least my kid just finished his first year in school. Right.
Yeah,
I can tell you that 50% of those fucking parents, bro, Jesus Christ. This is your concern?
Sure.
Like,
totally. No, and like, right, I'm sorry. If you're a parent that talks about how your eyes have been opened to how hard a teacher's job is during this, you just haven't been paying attention. You're just not paying attention. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I've never said that. I never thought that it's an easy job, but I think that it's a job that it's made exponentially harder because many parents think that means they don't have to do any of the racing.
110%.
And it's
a collaborative effort. It's a collaborative effort. Not just your teacher, but your admin, your parents. If your kid
is learning to say thank you in school, then you're a piece of shit parent.
Yeah, definitely.
That should be being reinforced in school, but it shouldn't be acquired knowledge from school. You know, so I don't know. I think we don't know. It's uncharted waters.
No, completely. And like, right, I'm saying all this, not saying that like, right, I have the solution, because there's no easy solution. There truly isn't.
And to me personally, where I'm seeing it at this point is a hybrid combination of homeschooling and utilizing that, because that's still my tax money.
Yeah.
And that's still the school that my son's zoned for. And it's a good school. So following that up and doing what I was planning on doing anyway, instead of private school, which in our town, I don't like. In Las Vegas, Nevada, I'm not a fan of the private schools that I've witnessed. I think they're predatory. I don't like volunteering for rules that I have no hand in setting.
Sure.
And I don't like being treated like a child when I'm spending a ton of money. And when you belong to one of those schools, the parents like a student, and a fucking dumbass 26-year-old teacher can boss you around with a bunch of extra responsibilities that, you know, I mean, the fact that some of these private schools that charge a ton of money have to have fundraisers, it's hilarious. Fucking hilarious. So to me, I'd rather pay for Latin classes, piano lessons.
Yeah, you're better off getting
or
a tutor or something.
Yeah, talk to a fucking the head of geography at UNLV and say, hey, do you have an understudy that can come and do a lecture for my kid? He's interested in fucking, you know, whatever the fuck.
An undergraduate, like a guy in fucking a nerd in a Geo 101. Yeah, whatever.
And that's all effort based.
Sure.
You come up with it and you implement it, and you don't have to have fucking $1 million to do it.
Right.
You know, so I hope that people get more engaged. I you know, the same way I hope people get more accountable about Corona exposing certain things that are not popular to talk about, such as what I just pointed out. You know, I mean, which is get your shit together, you fat fucks.
Yeah, no, 110%. Like, unfortunately, the fact is,
fuck you.
Yes, we will never be providing a trigger warning on this show. Actually, I was reading the study how they're kind of,
in fact, I provide trigger guarantee.
Right, but no, like I was reading the study linked by Luke Thomas, right, the MMA journalist, talking about how trigger warnings don't, according to this one study that we were reading, they don't necessarily are effective in like warning someone from. Like, right, it's kind of pointless, because if you're saying trigger warning about whatever the thing is, that's still going to fucking remind him of whatever sort of
trigger
trauma.
Restraint is the only thing that'd be effective. And if I'm restraining myself, I would only warn you to fuck with you.
Well, yeah,
so it doesn't even make sense. Well, yeah. I would have destroyed you right now, but I'm not going to. It's true. I never thought about that. I mean, first of all, the whole triggering thing. Listen. I accept it if you're like a fucking PTSD having Afghanistan soldier with fireworks. That to me is a trigger warning. But this word reminds me of my mean grandmother. Fuck you and your mean grandmother.
Well,
you know what? Actually, I'm on her side.
So like, and I'll say, I think I'm at the point where I feel like in certain mediums, I think those type of warnings are appropriate, because like, right, in movies, we have rating systems where they're warnings of explicit content. And I feel like a lot of times the type of trigger warnings, it is explicit content, right? If it's like a rape or if it's a fucking assault of some sort, that's an explicit memory. So I think it may be like journalism. I think it makes sense. Like written journalism.
See, I don't think so. I don't think journalism should have
a little byline at the top saying, hey, warning, this contains graphic material.
Well, yeah, but what if it's a piece on transsexuals?
Well, then it's obviously the person clicking on it probably know what they're in for.
That's what I mean.
But if it's say if it's a letter to an editor in your local newspaper, I know this is such a horrible example because like it doesn't even exist.
You mean Twitter? Yes, continue.
Well, no, because like I don't think Twitter should be like included in this, right? Because Twitter is just such a short form.
I know, but that's how people send letters to the editors nowadays, right? It's like,
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Add New York Times.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. That shit's funny. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I listen. I'm a new parent. I'm a fucking white belt parent, right?
Right.
My sons are 3.5 and 6. They're being raised to not elicit shitty words in their direction and to know how to let those words, if and when they come in their direction, roll right off their back. Because the only way that those words stick is if you give them credence.
Totally.
And and because we're so,
And that's a skill.
well, it is
to develop
and
like,
it
to figure
starts
it
in the
out.
house.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, my wife is relentless fucking with them.
Please give examples.
My wife will
Please
be
give
damned if
examples.
she's gonna send a pussy out into the world. You know, like, I mean, we have a healthy way of fucking with each other in this house.
Please give me. I need examples. Come on, hit me with some examples.
It's not just examples. There's a time when they're hurt,
Sure.
and when they're 6, and no matter what, right then you're hurt, you're 6, you get up and you.
Right.
But there's no such thing as fucking crying without a reason. Well, when you told me that, you hurt my feelings. Well, guess what, dude? Your feelings are wrong because you hit your brother. My job is to correct you so that you're a nice person. It's not my job to be nice. When I correct you, it's because I love you.
Well, and like, right,
5-year-old. And yet I'm having conversations like this about 50-year-old fucking coworkers.
Well, like, I mean, like, right, there is so much talk about how like feelings are always valid.
No.
And unfortunately, that's not true. I mean, right? They feel very strong to you.
Go try to buy a car you can't afford and tell the fucking salesman that you feel the price is wrong. And let's see how that fucking works. Call the bank and tell me you feel the interest on your credit card.
And like, right, like it's right. Feelings are very real and they feel very real to you in the moment whenever they're happening to you. But there has to be some sort of discernment of acknowledging what is a rational feeling.
A self-regulation.
And, yeah, absolutely. Self-regulation of being an adult, a mature human being, right? I don't know where I was going with this, but I feel like a lot of people are just so willing to validate any sort of feelings. And
yeah. Well, I think there's that. And I think that woke people are predators in the same way that they find the easy prey. They know who the fuck is going to shut them down in a second. They know that there's certain conversations they could not possibly have in person with certain individuals because they wouldn't have the balls to do so. And if you don't have the balls to stand behind your little woke beliefs that you spout out on your keyboard and you fucking write on little fucking signs,
but here's the thing,
then you can suck
but
my
here's
dick.
the thing, right? Like I feel like there's been this world constructed by, right? Just you saying this, that you can't justify this. You're immediately an oppressor and I don't have to deal with you. And because you're a contrarian to me, I don't have to listen to you. You're alt-right. Shut the fuck up. You're a Nazi.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because I am oppressing you because you're being a bitch.
I would just say being wrong. And being wrong is a nicer way to say that.
The day that the world is run by people that are pussies like you, I'll worry. Because that day means that it can affect my earning capability and my ability to move around the world. As long as I'm just getting my finger pointed by a couple of nerds who couldn't slap each other if a dick was in front of them.
One can make the argument that the Democratic Party is becoming more and more progressive and more trying to achieve that sort of worldview. Could they not?
They could. My argument is that I'm a little bit older, and so I just know how they shift their pandering.
Fair. Yeah, totally. Right. I mean, both sides. That's just not exclusive to Democrats. Let's be clear. It's pander. Oh, you guys want to hear us pander?
What we selling today?
Yeah.
Lemonade it is. You know what I mean? Like
and last week they were banning lemonade.
Yeah. And 6 years ago, we made it on whiskey. You know what I mean? I just don't think that those organisms operate in that capacity. And I also just, again, from personal experience from my life is,
hold on.
A lot of this happens when people feel when they're at an age when they feel that there's going to be no opportunity left for them. Sure. It's really easy to believe a famine mentality when you have no idea what it's like to go get your own food. And what it's like to go get your own food is very simple. You pick a thing and you wake up every morning and you do it. And you feel that commitment because that's what you have to do to get your food. It doesn't mean that the road to get the food is going to be fulfilling every time. No, lucky people get to have that. Not everybody does. I don't think you should hate your job. But this notion that I have the right to be happy, man, and make however many. So they want to be happy. They want to have Louis Vuitton fucking purses and duck lips for Instagram. They want.
I don't know who this person is you're making up right now, though. I don't know the person that wants to be happy but also wants that.
The fucking protesters and the people that the protesters admire.
I don't think that's accurate. I think maybe the people they admire maybe sometimes, but I don't think.
Why do you admire it then?
Because people are sheep.
Exactly.
People are sheep.
Exactly. So again, if that had that conversation or that exchange, I don't care if I'm sounding oppressing because A, that's not my intention. B, that's how you're interpreting words that you don't like because they're abrasive to your message.
Sure.
And C, fuck you. I'm glad you're interpreting it that way because your fucking IQ, emotional IQ is showing me that me and you cannot have a dialogue with logic behind it. Because at some point you're going to flip the board over and cry foul. So, and that's before I ever get aggressive enough to put a hand on you, but you will act as though I already did.
Sure. Yeah. Well, words are violence.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if you know this, Carlos. Words are violence in 2020.
If I walk into my house because I had a shitty meeting and I go, "Where's my dinner, bitch?" I agree. Words are violence. If I'm telling your bitch has to move because I have a meeting that's going to change my family's life forever and you're blocking the fucking avenue because of your fucking fringe cause because you think a man who wants to be a woman should be able to go into a different bathroom. I'm done.
Again, this is such a straw man you're making. That's such a straw man you're making, right? Like nobody's protesting that right now.
No, not right now. I'm just saying I don't want to use a specific current thing to not get in trouble. But I'm saying things that over the last 3 years I've heard that people are up in arms about.
Well, hold on. Up in arms is such a right. Up in arms right now in today's age means people are talking about on Twitter. That's not up in arms.
Well, yeah.
That's not up in arms.
Yeah. I mean, protesting and all that. It's just it's necessary. It's transformative, but it's also become super redundant and highly unorganized in its effectiveness, I think. So, like here in Vegas, it's 107 degrees. Why don't you show me devotion now?
Fuck that. That's way too.
I thought you was woke.
Well, no, I mean, and like the city of Las Vegas banned protesters from carrying any sort of backpacks or coolers. So, right, like there's city ordinances that make it even more extremely difficult here. And granted, the city of from somebody that's not from Las Vegas, saying the city of Las Vegas has done this sounds like, oh no, the entire town. But the city of Las Vegas, in actuality, in terms of geography, is maybe covers 45% of what you would consider Las Vegas. Yeah. So where the actual protests are happening, I don't think this necessarily, it can be an issue, but I don't think it's as big of an issue as a lot of people say it is. It is an issue. It is fucked up that they're banning backpacks and coolers from protests. That's ridiculous. When, like you said, we live in 107-degree heat. That is a way of suppressing people's right to gather and protest without suppressing it. That's just some fucking political bullshit. Easily.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's also been attacks and an officer got fucking shot in the head.
Here in town?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
There's an officer that got shot.
Oh, I do know what you're talking about. How did I forget about that?
So I mean, again, I'm not.
Well, so the protesters. I mean, a protester got shot as well.
I'm not on either side.
People are getting shot, dude.
No, I just think
people are getting shot.
I don't think that the police department in Las Vegas is racially charged. I think they treat everyone equal.
I don't think. I think it's socially economically based, not necessarily racially based.
No. I'm talking about Metro. Metro,
sure.
To me,
I'm talking about
my experience with the Metropolitan Police Department in Las Vegas.
Yeah, but your experience is anecdotal.
No, hold on. You're not letting me finish.
Sure, I guess.
What do you guess?
No, you're right. I'm sure. I guess I'm not letting you finish. Is the rest of that statement. Continue.
I think they're equally abusive to everyone. Metro. I think, in fact, I mean, I know well-to-do people that have been on the shit end of Metro. Sure. The only difference is they have a little bit more education, maybe more experience with a lawyer, and they shut the fuck up and sue later. Right? But in the meantime, they still arrest you and they still take you there and ask questions second, So I recognize that fucking some places in the country are way more racially charged and the statistics prove it. Here, I accuse them of being equally abusive.
So it's across the board for police brutality.
Yes.
Well, it's still bad.
Yes.
It's still bad. It's still bad.
I agree with that. But I you know, I just think for people my age is taking note of how much of this has to do, in my opinion, with the family raising in America. I think the family system in America needs to have more emphasis. I think we need to diversify it to be inclusive of all the different types of families.
Right, yeah.
That you
The
can
term
have.
nuclear family needs to go like out.
No, nuclear family should not just be defined by divorce. Should be defined by any non-prior traditional way of having a family. Inclusive. I don't want new words. I want everybody included in nuclear.
So then, yeah, that means you'd get rid of what the term nuclear means, basically. Yeah.
Well, no, because the term nuclear family started being used when people got divorces and they had different kids from different people, and then they got together.
Right. Well, my understanding of the term nuclear family is a mom and a dad that stays together with their children. No, that's my understanding.
No. A nuclear family is any divorce and then a new family, like a second chance.
Interesting.
Yes. So like the Brady Bunch, you know, like she had her daughters or her kids, and like that's a nuclear family.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I think that includes gay folks, and I think it includes, you know what I mean? Like anybody, grandparents raising children. I don't think it should be just so defined by it, but I think that it's important that it's not just a one-person role, I guess is the best way to say it. One person is very difficult for one person to be a parent.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would disagree with that.
You know, like that's it. And it's also very difficult for one person to be very good at anything that has to do with emotional intelligence if they're alone.
Sure. Yeah.
And a single mother, by virtue, barely has time to date because she has to work. And the kids have to go to school.
I mean, single father too.
Or a single parent. I shouldn't have said single mother. It's just more common. But yeah, a single parent, you know. And I've heard them. I have friends that are single parents, and you ask them if they're dating anybody. They're like, no, I don't.
How would you have the time? Yeah, how would you have the time?
Not only that, but maybe you have a daughter, and maybe she's at an age where there's really no right way for that shit to go well.
Sure, totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So and every kid's going to be different too, and you never know how they're going to react to something like that.
Exactly, but you can't be the disciplinarian, the encourager, the educator, and the provider, and the care provider all at once.
Yeah.
When you work at 9 to 5,
when you're trying to make ends meet.
Man.
Yeah. No, it's
know? And then when were you supposed to date?
Yeah.
Because some of these kids that are super damaged, by the way, are the ones that the mom is on point with the financial and the taking care of your safety and everything.
Sure.
But she's doing her own thing.
Yeah. Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or dad, you know, like, I mean, I love golf. Like we said, I used to golf every fucking Saturday. Every single Saturday, that's religiously. Right. But golfing every Saturday means you're gone, in my case, from 5 a.m. to 11 o'clock in the morning every single Saturday.
Yeah.
Because the round's about 3.5 to 4.5 hours, and then you got to settle up the bets. We went in 4 groups, $20 a piece. You can make some money, and now you're having a sandwich or something. In my case, a whiskey. You know, so and there's certain, and I'm not faulting the guy that works a fucking 65-hour week and wants to go golf and do that on Saturdays. Right. For me, that time I'd rather spend it with my kids.
Sure,
you know, and I think that everybody has their own version of that with their kids. And I think that's what's important for them, because the bullying comes from somebody exploiting a flaw or an insecurity, right? Well, how do you get rid of insecurities? You don't. You manage them. Yeah. How do you learn to manage them? By having a role model that goes, well, you know what? When I was little, my fucking ear was big. Right. And, you know, like, it turns out that happened to you, so I'm not the only one.
Right.
So this has happened to other people before. Yeah, it has.
Right.
You know, I think that's huge towards that resentment not building in each human being and going out there and spitting it out. Because half of the shit that you're hearing from people, when a racist goes off on a black person, to me, what I hear is that person hates themselves. They're saying keywords to offend the person in front of them, but
they're just trying to hurt the person in front of them.
Self-loathing.
Yeah, sure.
To me, because you can't be a person that loves themselves and go
have that much hate towards anything, really.
especially
anything, really.
towards something that is so hurtful towards a group of people, by the way, because there's specific things that I don't think they mean, but I think it's like they say it because it's going to have the desired effect in that moment.
It's a matter of trying to see how hurt or how much pain you can inflict on the other person, because for whatever reason, that's going to make you feel better about yourself. But it just doesn't.
Which it won't.
Doesn't.
Which it won't. But that's all you know.
Right. Sure.
You know?
You've been hurt so much. All you know is to hurt.
It's the only operating system
to either hurt or to be hurt.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
So,
and I mean, as someone that works at early childhood education, racism is just not an inherent thing in human beings, right? Like I see little children who look different, who have different hairstyles, and they don't care about this. It's like, hey, you're playing with a car? Oh, I want to play with this car. Oh, we're playing dresses. I'm playing dresses. Let's do this. You're walking weird. I'm walking weird. Let's do this. Heck yeah. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. That's like,
and that's also another reason why I want my kids to remain part of the public school system.
Sure.
You know,
the social aspect of school is very important. Unquestionably.
And it's very easy to be a private school tough guy.
Yeah.
You know, and it's some pathetic shit to be. Oh, so you're the least pussy in a group of pussies, essentially. This is what we're talking about? Is this what we're talking about? You're the least bitch in a group of bitches. Okay. Well, I suppose in your land, that's a source of pride.
What if it's a private wrestling school? And also I don't know if such a thing exists, a private wrestling academy.
What happens? I'll break him down. One of you is gay. And you just look around. And let them figure it out. And you create a Lord of the Flies type of situation. And I know it for a fact. Social media, it's got that extra account. Is it you?
That's the extra account. That's hilarious. Who has the hidden account? That's mean. That's very mean.
Do I know? Do I not know? I don't know. It's open-ended. But someone here knows. You know what I'm saying? You catch me?
Putting the seed of doubt. Not even doubt. Just,
Now, see, that's the kind of skill set I want my kids to have. But only use it when it must be used.
For good. And in this fictional scenario where we've built up, I'm going to continue to build up where you would assume in the wrestling academy, those boys probably a little bit more conservative, probably a little bit more fearful of homosexual people. You would really throw them for a loop, I feel like. You would really throw them for a loop.
Because now one of them is going to call their dad. And their dad went to an all-boys school too.
I love this narrative.
Talk about triggered. Yeah, military school boy. I know about your friend Jay. Yeah, the ethereal bachelor. Yes.
Ethereal.
52 years old. Yeah, never married, huh? I know. He's a swinger. Sure he is.
Listen, man, if it has a hole. I'm not going to leave this.
Like an anthill? No, like a hornet's nest? I mean, how...
This is stupid. This is a stupid line of
the honey out of the beehive? Out of the bee's home? That's not appropriate.
That's disgusting.
That was not appropriate, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know where that's
disgusting, man.
It's not going to get cut up.
Yeah, definitely. No, it is. It's definitely going to.
You should not put your dick in any of those places.
I mean, that's going to be cut out and just, that's going to be it. That's going to be the clip. That's going to be the clip. Life advice. Life advice.
You can't fuck the honey out of the comb. Oh my God.
You're fucking dumb.
Well, I try.
I do. Oh, I know.
Oh man. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean,
what else happened this week? What else happened to you this week?
That was it, man. Like I said, cooking, eating, relaxing, a little bit of the buffalo, and just work, man. Yesterday, work. I did go back to train for the most part at Extreme Couture's at least once a day, which is great.
It's exciting.
So feel good. Been doing some pad work with people and stuff like that. And just trying to write it out. I mean, obviously it's good to see that people aren't like dropping like flies, like we kind of all thought would happen.
Totally.
But I mean, it's the one thing that I think is just should not be a partisan issue is that the shit's very real. It's something we've never seen before.
Also, just wear a mask.
It
wear a fucking mask, dude.
You anything?
Just wear a fucking mask.
The fact that that's gotten.
Did you see? Hold on, time out. Did you see that the United States withdrew from the WHO today?
I did. Yeah.
The World Health Organization.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't mind that. Can we allocate that money towards the CDC?
It'd be more beneficial. 110%.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
Listen,
I mean, there's plenty of examples of the World Health Organization not being the best organization. Let's talk about Taiwan. Because you know what? We will. The WHO won't. They won't. They won't talk about Taiwan.
Attach world to anything.
Sure. Right.
And usually there's fuckery afoot. Like FIFA. The FIFA is a piece of shit organization.
What? No way.
The fucking Formula One circuit. Another mafia. The fucking, it's world. Oh, the world. The whole world.
Carlos, are you saying the people who are in power aren't trying to be benevolent to their fellow man?
The thing about it is that some of it is like that organization is not even set up for you to be able to do nefarious shit. And they figured it out though. You know, it's like, but
what bribes can I take?
But your son wants to be in the Olympics. He's a rower. I'm going to need a villa. I need me a villa to watch Olympians in the winter. Of course. It's fucking crazy, dude. So I don't know. I don't mind that. And I don't mind any president in the United States deciding to cut ties with any country that has utilized predatory tactics to leverage their economic and their social position. I like the idea.
By that logic, wouldn't every country be able to cut ties with us then? I mean, I guess economically they can't, but by that logic, wouldn't they have at least the right to?
They do, and they do.
Yeah, some of them do.
But it's beneficial to them not to for the most part. And I think that this is going to reinvigorate the manufacturing capabilities of our country. And there's going to be a lot more people that are going to. Hopefully, they can facilitate some money to jumpstart that much in the way that Elon does, and start making. No, you can't get away with everything.
I was going to bring something up earlier,
but there's plenty of things that you can make here.
And you just reminded me by saying Elon.
What's that?
Come on, Kanye.
Oh my God,
bro! What's up, dude? Kanye 2020, 2024, baby.
So here's my suggestion on that one.
Yeah, hit me.
I would like for him to run for Surgeon General, and I would like him.
So let me interrupt you. You can't run for Surgeon General. That's an appointed position.
I would like for him to I would like Trump to appoint him as Surgeon General, with a caveat that we do that first by throwing him into a primary. But he has a decoy. Because what I want is everybody that votes for him, you're not going to get your candidate. But guess who's your primary physician now? Dr. Kanye. Good luck. And then let Kanye run wild. Just with
why
those
a surgeon general? Why would you want him to be in the doctor position?
Because I want it to be a government position.
But he's not a doctor.
And I want the dummies that would be willing to vote for him to be directly affected by him.
Okay, but again, you don't vote for surgeon general.
He can be appointed after he wins the primary that shows who's going to vote for him. Because what I really want is to extract his fan base.
Nothing of what you're saying makes sense with the way our political system works.
I pretend he's going to run for president and I throw him in a primary to draw out the votes. So
primary in what?
A presidential primary for the Democrats or the Republicans. I don't care. All I need is a pool of people that would vote for it somehow. Okay. And then have them affected by him. Like now he's in charge of your fucking IRA.
Well, I think it's incredible, right? Because Kanye is an unabashed Trump supporter.
Yes. Well, I guess now we know a little bit why too, right? You heard that it came out that some of Kanye's companies got government money?
That's not surprising to me. I mean, so did the Catholic Church.
But
specifically here in this town, Las Vegas, the diocese.
But see how I imagine that in my head?
Whatever.
When Kanye was kind of like talking shit about the presidents and in the past, as Trump comes into power, whatever stimulus goes on, Kanye gets it. He's informed that this happens, and all of a sudden, he loved the president.
But he loved Trump before this.
Maybe.
He's been on the Trump train for since the beginning of the election. I'd have to look at
some timelines and shit, you know.
I guess. But so I think it's kind of genius because, right, like anyone that would have voted for Kanye that was already gonna vote was probably gonna vote for Joe Biden.
Yeah. I mean,
and like, right?
Who knows though?
you can say like,
People
right?
say
I hear
a lot
people
of
say, well, yeah, I hear people say, Kanye's not serious. He can't even run in a certain amount of states because he missed the deadline. He missed 5 states deadline at this point. It's not that many. It's still 45 other states. I'm not sure exactly what those states are, but right, the electoral breakdown, right? They may not even be some of the bigger states in terms of like California and Texas. So kind of whatever. And again, like, right, Donald Trump has very clearly proven that you don't need to be a politician to win the presidency, which has probably always been true because it's always been a popularity contest, at least in my lifetime.
Yeah. I mean,
and it's probably been a popularity contest since like Kennedy with the advent of TV debates.
Bush proved that you didn't have to be intelligent, and Trump's proving that you don't have to be a politician or super intelligent either.
Right. So like, I mean, I think it's very likely 2024 we see something like Kanye versus The Rock.
I'd vote for The Rock right now.
So many people would.
I'd vote for that motherfucker right now. But I mean,
my point exactly.
See, I have a breakdown of I don't like Kanye's music. I don't like Kanye as a human.
You don't like his most recent Jesus Saves album?
I think I have
or Jesus is King, I think it's called.
I couldn't even.
It's like all gospel music.
Because he mumbles so much, I probably could guess eventually if one of them is his song.
Sure.
Right? But my biggest psychological breakdown on that fucking guy is who he's married to and who raised him. And I think that tells me everything I need to know about that guy. You know how Kanye's mom died, right?
I don't want to get into it. I've heard you wax on about this so many times in my life, and I just don't care. I just don't care.
It's the truth, man. That dude, and he has admitted having bipolar disorder. It'd be remarkable for people to be like, yeah, but that was then. Oh no, that's for your entire life, sir. I'm sorry, you're misinformed. That's your entire life.
No, don't you know that was just a PR screen, dude?
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe. maybe. But I think it would be. It's a troll.
It is a troll. It is ultimately a good troll, and it'll be fun to see in 2024 when he actually runs and wins the presidency.
I was actually a lot more intrigued by Candace Owens having confirmed talks with Biden's team.
I try not to pay my attention to anything that relates to Candace Owens. I truly do my best to not consume any sort of. I see a Candace Owens thing, I ignore it. I just can't give that person the time of day.
When I see the Democrats doing things like that, I guess anything's possible. Ever since Trump won, anything's possible. Because on one side, they're saying that he's slipping, and I just don't see him losing. Well, so do you know what I think is?
So hold on, time out. Do you know what I think is a great indication of where Trump's power is? Where like maybe not his power, but where his support is and like the levels of support is, right? You look at candidates that Trump has come out and endorsed, right, in the last year. He's now endorsed like his 5 most recent endorsements in like state races and like city races have lost.
Yeah.
2 years ago, right, when kind of the Colin Kaepernick thing, right, because it's been kind of a thing now, right? Donald Trump kind of ran after the NFL. 2 years ago, it's kind of unquestionably that Donald Trump won that battle, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So now, and it seems like they're going to kind of rebattle that. Same with NASCAR with this whole Bubba Wallace thing.
Yeah.
Those 3 things, right? NFL, NASCAR, and then him endorsing people and them losing, that signifies his base, right? NFL fans, NASCAR fans. I mean, if you're an NFL and NASCAR fan who's not a Trump supporter, obviously I'm not talking about you.
Yeah.
But I think generally that's a good generalization of the Trump supporter. So I think those are great metrics to look into here in this next year to see kind of how well Trump is actually doing.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. It's definitely getting to be interesting.
Well, and like, right, are they going to do debates? Because right, with this whole coronavirus, it's a perfect excuse for Joe Biden not to go into a debate with Donald Trump, which I think the vast majority of people think Donald Trump will crush him. I believe that.
He would. I mean,
right, if you watch Joe Biden talk at any sort of event in the last year, 2 years, it's pretty evident the man's just not, like, I don't want to sound like a right-leaning conspiracy theorist, but like, right, if you compare it to videos from him 5 years ago as VP, right, the cadence, his ability to stay on top of what he's talking about, there's a difference.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. He's an older person. I'm not saying like, right, this is a normal part of life. I'm not disparaging for it, but And I'm not saying Donald Trump doesn't have his own quirks with his own speech patterns and his own weird things, right?
And we're forgetting to mention the tabloid element of this. Maxine.
Giselle Maxine. The newest prisoner. Right, she's in jail.
So, to me, if this was House of Cards...
Dude, don't even... We can't talk about this. Kevin Spacey's too scary. He'll find us and kill us.
That's the perfect excuse for Trump. Because...
We gotta stop talking about this. Kevin Spacey's gonna find us and kill us. I'm terrified of that man.
You have her suicided. Automatically, whose fault is it? The Clintons. But
Epstein was a
broad
Clinton, obviously.
may know
right.
who Trump fucked or didn't fuck when he was hanging out with Epstein.
I mean, it seems like she would know just about everybody who was fucking and didn't fucking.
So who's the biggest loser there would be Trump, not the Clintons, because that's how it already semi-out.
Yeah, you have to be pretty oblivious to the fact that Bill Clinton wasn't there multiple times.
Of course.
And I'm not picking on Bill Clinton because there was multiple people who did that. But also, did you know who owns an island right next door to Epstein's island? Let me throw you this little conspiracy theory rabbit hole. No, it's James Biden, aka Joe Biden's brother.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
I'll have to look that up.
Little beast, do your research, because if we say any more, we're gonna get Clinton. Yeah. We're gonna get taken care of. But no, dude, so I'll talk about it. But you know all this crazy shit about Kevin Spacey, right?
I mean, I know that there was one guy who acted. What I read was a guy kind of fucking led Kevin Spacey.
Sure, but he was 14.
No, because he was at a bar drinking.
Maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
Yeah.
Well, but Kevin Spacey also had an underage thing. A
scandal
with a 14-year-old dude.
I was talking about the other guy, was the actor. It's like, oh, he grabbed my dick. But the whole time he was texting his girlfriend, but yet he stayed put. It was a very weird situation.
Whatever. So, Kevin Spacey has been intimately linked with Prince Andrew, the Epsteins,
He's a wild man, evidently.
And when all of this controversy, I think it was when it was I want to say it was a 14-year-old dude, but I could be totally wrong. Maybe it's the dude you're thinking of. But there was a couple years ago, right, when he got canceled off House of Cards, he released this YouTube video of him in character as Frank Underwood, but not really, kind of giving a very cryptic message. And he flashes this ring that's supposed to be Prince Andrew's ring and shit. Very creepy shit. Very creepy shit. I don't know. I think Kevin Spacey might kill us just for talking about this right now.
Nah.
You'll never hear it. We're safe.
Listen, with the one that I read, I'm on your side, K-Dog.
I will say House of Cards, way better with him in it versus with him without it.
Yeah, I mean, he's a show. He's a goddamn show. Yeah. Speaking of shows, you got to watch Kingdom.
I'm not going to watch the show.
You
know what show you should watch? I can hit you with a show recommendation. Love on Netflix. With Jillian Jacobs from Community. Blonde girl.
I will look at it.
It is with also I don't know his name, but it's one of the most ugliest male actors I've ever seen in my life. And the whole premise of the show is that he is some loser nice guy that his fiance breaks up with him for being too nice and too in love with him. And Jillian Jacobs' character is this kind of adult loser that just kind of sleeps around, kind of has a problem with alcohol and drugs, kind of trying to figure out her life. And they meet, and he's the first nice person that's ever been nice to him, and she kind of starts feeling for him, and it explores that relationship dynamic in LA. Huh. It's pretty good. It's very well. It's you know who directs it? Motherfucking Steve Buscemi.
I like Steve Buscemi.
Yeah. I saw that he directed and I was like, oh, cool. That's a good show. I'm I don't know, I'm probably halfway through the first season. There's 3 seasons on Netflix.
You know what else is coming to Netflix? Cobra Kai. Little Beast. We'll be covering Cobra Kai extensively. You guys got to watch season 1 and 2. Be ready for season 3.
I haven't watched it.
Oh, dude. I recommend you do a weekend where you watch Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3.
And then go and jump into Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like that's the way you would have to do it. You have to watch it. Well, and obviously,
that's how James
let's not even mention the other Karate Kid, the more recent remake.
Oh, I don't fucks with that.
It's a horrible movie.
I don't fucks with that.
It's a horrible movie.
Yeah, the guy. Are you talking about the guy that studies karate in China?
Yeah, that's the movie I'm talking about.
That's fucking racist. That's some
that is
shit.
And that's Jaden Smith, dude. That's Will Smith's kid. The Fresh Prince.
Who's got a whole set of fucking issues of his own anyhow.
Listen, I don't want to.
I don't want to
I don't
get
know
too
enough about
controversial.
that.
I don't even know
about
if he's
that.
of age to talk shit about him.
Jaden Smith? Yeah, he has to be, right?
I don't know. I don't even know if he's a he. Am I supposed to call him a he?
I don't know.
Well,
You're never supposed to assume gender.
I'll
at this
go
point.
with them.
I mean, you just call him his name, Jaden.
Okay, so Jaden. I don't know what his deal is, but he was good in that movie. But they should have named it something else. That's all.
Yeah. It's just
Should've
not
gone with a
karate.
different fucking
It's
name.
just not karate.
Nah.
It's
And
just
also,
not karate.
4 is a stretch.
I haven't even seen 4. I've never even seen 4.
Hilary Swank.
No thanks. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
The only thing 4 had was Mr. Miyagi.
I mean, how dare? Well, first of all, R.I.P. Respect to the legend.
Oh,
Wait.
Mr. Miyagi.
For the children of the beast, it's respect to the legend down there. I feel like
Well, the beast lives below.
the beast, and yeah,
The
so
beast-
like respect down there
Yeah,
with
yeah.
with like Dio, Lemmy,
Yeah. They did.
Vinny, the Paul brothers, Dimebag, Vinny Paul.
For sure.
They're all down there.
Bon Scott.
Yeah. I mean, it's like ACDC says, hell's where my friends are going to be.
That is true.
That's true. So anyway, I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
The Children
Well,
of the
that's,
Beast, episode 1.
We'll reconvene after the UFC this weekend.
Yeah.
See what takes place. Send
Follow us, the show, on YouTube at Children of the Beast Podcast. It's a YouTube channel. Subscribe, like the video. It's also going to be an audio release on your favorite podcast platform. So just search Children of the Beast. Make sure you hit subscribe on Apple. Leave us a 5-star review. It helps us so that we can get bumped up to the algorithm so that we can truly prove that we are the fastest growing podcast in the world. You can follow me at Andrew_the Hut on all social media. You can follow Carlos at Wolfchild1980 on all social media. And other than that, I think the only thing to say is, hey, little beast, go convert other people. Go paint a pentagram on them. Go paint a pentagram outside their house and just be like, hey, listen to the show. It's satanic.
the beast is good.
That's it. 666, baby.